Attack of the Giant Leeches, or Ayako for short, is one of many monster movies which fed off of prevailing fears of the public at the time, ironically becoming a leech itself in the process. The topic I'm referring to, of course, is the effects of radiation. When the raw destructive power of the atomic bombs put an end to fighting in the Pacific, humanity got a glimpse of both the wonders and horrors it was capable of. As time wore on, it became common knowledge that the opinions of a handful of individuals in the East and West could annihilate mankind and everything it had achieved. Fears of a global nuclear holocaust were woven throughout half of the 20th century and can still be glimpsed on occasion today. But nuclear annihilation wasn't the only thing people were scared of. They were even more intrigued and afraid of the possible benefits of a new age of scientific discovery. What would mankind become? What other dark secrets of the universe would be made manifest with the publication of the next scientific journal? What sacrifices would humanity make in partaking this forbidden fruit? The answers people came up with ranged from world becoming a utopia of technology and philosophy, to mankind becoming monsters and slaves to an ironic progress gone mad. Most B-movies deal with the latter, or at other times dabble in both these scenarios. Forbidden Planet, an excellent film starring Leslie Nielsen, looked into a civilization that created a heaven-like existence through their technology only to succumb to the monsters lurking in the shadows of their hearts. The Brain That Wouldn't Die, a not-so-excellent movie starring nobody you know, dealt with the moral dilemmas of future technology which would inevitably be put in our hands. Ayako, however, is none of these. It was an attempt at a quick buck first and a story second. Now, most B-movies are that and nothing else. An attempt to get the audience to shell out a few clams while letting them escape for an hour and a half, but most B-movies at least have the decency to pretend that they aspire to something more noble. Now, I am a person who absolutely hates Aesop's, or in other words, a moral to the story that is more often than not ham-fisted and trite. It has its places, and really every story has one, but it's so easy to mess it up that it's become annoyingly prevalent in the increasingly pretentious and mediocre media. Sorry about the soapboxes. As for Ayako, however, they told us the age-old story of scary thing in swamp go away when you drop thing that go boom in it. Then, near the end, the writer thought, uh-oh, I forgot to make sense. So he throws in about 2 or 3 sentences about how radiation caused it. In these movies, radiation equals magic. That's not to say that most people at the time had any clue how radiation truly affected the environment, but in this and many other cases, the reason something becomes abnormal comes in second to, let's make a crazy killer animal movie. I'm looking at you, Squirm. I would have preferred no reason for it at all than the hand wave that was, oh, radiation did it. Here, I'll provide one for it. In Ayako, let's say that instead of radiation, the deep swamps resemble the environment of prehistoric Earth, and that many animals have yet to be catalogued. And over the course of the past few centuries or millennia, many of these animals are going extinct because the numerous mini ice ages that have occurred have altered the atmosphere in nigh imperceptible ways. Some of the dying creatures of these deep swamps have no home to go to, so they start to wander from their ancient burrows into the outskirts of human society, looking for the similar environment they once lived in. There. It's plausible. It doesn't require us to suspend our disbelief as much as with radiation, and it's a bit more poignant than rocket fuel started floating downriver. Ayako is unremarkable. Its only camp factor lies in the fact that they tossed dynamite in the swamps to dispatch their foes. The only enjoyable part for me was the scenes with Dave Walker. I enjoyed all of his scenes because I think it added some depth to a movie so shallow it might as well have been mud. His wife's portrayal was relatively interesting and added some food for thought. She's a battered, abused woman who, despite having been given a chance at a comfortable life with an entrepreneur like Dave, a man who absolutely loves her and would do anything for her, hates him, and prefers the men who treat her like a piece of meat. This is an actual problem actual people have. Odd that it came about in a movie about giant mutant lampreys. You know a movie is bad when the subplot is upstaging the main plot. In the end, it's supposed to be a horror film, but it falls pathetically short. It isn't so bad it's good, or so bad it's horrible. It's just so bad it's mediocre. And really, those are the movies that you want to avoid. I'm Andrew Smith. Keep watching the skies.